Hello there, it is Tuesday morning and I'm going to show you a few things that I listed yesterday. This has been a very strange week. We've had the protests downtown and the looting and the curfew and everything, but here where I live it's been quiet, so thankful for that. Okay, so here's just a few things that I listed yesterday and today. We have these really cool looking earrings, which I think they're sort of Turkish looking, or I don't know, maybe Etruscan revival. That might be a stretch, but anyway, they're copper with sort of a bronze finish, and they're little dangly, fun looking boho earrings. Listed those for $19. These are pewter cowboy boot earrings. These are artisan made and signed. I could not find out any information about the artist, who is just simply EK. I imagine these are 1980s. This type of thing was very popular then. Those are also 19. There's some sterling silver and marcasite, little kind of leaf-shaped earrings. Those are also 19. I may have listed those for some unknown reason for $19.99. And then these cute fish earrings, sterling silver fishes. I listed those for $22. And then lastly, we have this adorable little Western holster with a little 6-shooter gun. Now, the HC I thought was very intriguing, so I looked this up and I was very delighted to find out that HC stands for Hopalong Cassidy, which dates this pretty securely. Well, I don't know. 1950s, early 1950s is when the TV show was. The radio show of Hopalong Cassidy, which, if you don't know who Hopalong Cassidy is, he's a cowboy character. He was actually introduced in books in like 1902, and he was very popular on the radio. There may have even been some movies, but I'm thinking this is probably 1950s. I don't know what the metal is. Nothing, not even the little chain is magnetic. But it's not silver, I don't think. But anyway, I did find that these are selling for a respectable amount of money. So I put it on eBay, and I started the auction at $35, and I did a buy it now for $48. And it sold immediately to I hope that's who bought it. One of my YouTubers who specifically requested me to get it listed. And I hope that is who bought it. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm getting ready to wrap that up and send it off tomorrow. Besides that little Hopalong Cassidy, this is the only other sale I had. It's a little knife. It's a souvenir of Guatemala. It's made out of horn, and it's got this little figure on it. Nice little leather handmade holster. Very cute. I mean sheath, not holster. Did I say how much I sold it for? $28.
Oh, poor baby. Oh, she's so upset. This is a new little cat that's been coming around. Obviously it has a home. It has a nice little collar and everything. But Muffin does not like it. Not at all.
Okay, so I have these 3 items. This is a pink enamel scarf clip flower. The brand is, okay, where is it marked? Oh, there it is. The brand is, there it is, Jerry Lou, which I couldn't find out much information about Jerry Lou. So I'm really unsure of the date of this. I saw some people saying it was 1970s, 1980s. These kind of enamel flowers were really popular in the 60s and 70s. Scarf clips were really popular in the 80s, but I guess they were also in use in the in other decades. So I'm not really sure, but it's in very nice condition. A few marks on the back, but not too much on this side. It's cute. Anyway, that's 18. These sterling silver mother of pearl earrings are 22, and then this bracelet, which it's really pretty, even though some of the rhinestones are a little bit darkened. It's not missing any stones. It's just really a pretty bracelet. I listed that for 32. Okay, so here's what I am packaging up to ship tomorrow. This is a Mexican carved onyx figurine of a, I don't know, an Aztec god or something. He's very cool. I think maybe it was a bookend or something. He's 32. And then this, I was very confused by this piece because it is marked silver. But when I tested it, it didn't test as silver, but then someone pointed out to me that it might very well be rhodium plated silver, because it is they are real pearls and everything, and it's very nicely made. So that is my guess, rhodium plated silver. That's over 32 also. And then these little Mexican sterling silver earrings with the inlaid abalone sold for 23. And then I have one more item that I already packaged up. Well, it was already packaged up. It was a grouping of old newspapers from the 1960s, all related to the U.S. space program, NASA, moon landing, John Glenn, that sort of thing. And that sold for 35 plus shipping. The package was over 6 pounds, so it was pretty heavy. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Morning, it is Wednesday morning. Wednesday, yeah. And I'm just going to show you a few things that I've gotten listed yesterday and today. Getting some jewelry listed from an eBay lot, one that I was mostly not 100% pleased with, but there's still some stuff once I cleaned it up that was worth listing. This is probably 1960s Aurora Borealis red stone at the center, gold tone rose. It's got a little leaf that's riveted onto the back. That I listed for 17. Oh no, I've forgotten. Let's see. This one I think also was 17. This is like a Celtic knot themed dangle pendant necklace with a faux citrine stone. The stone has a few imperfections, so not perfect. I also listed that for 17. And then this is a mid-century rhinestone and faux pearl brooch. It's kind of got a dimensional look to it, and a baby blue milk glass stone at the center, which is kind of unusual, and like an antique-y blackened finish on the metal. That I listed for 22. And then this, I believe that this cabochon here is jade. I did test it with my gem tester, and it is consistent with nephrite jade or spinach. It looks like spinach jade. It's a very dark color, but it's also got a kind of a Celtic look to it. I'm not really sure, but it is from Scotland. And I listed that for 22 also. So here are some pieces that I am getting ready to wrap up. This is a little oil lamp. It's a Skruf, S-K-R-U-F, from Sweden, hand-blown art glass oil lamp from the 1970s. I believe I got that at a garage sale for almost nothing and sold it for $39 plus $24 shipping to the UK. And then to one of my regular angels that keep me going, I sold this little liqueur glass with the ruby flash spots on it Oh, I've had that little glass a long time. Let's see. He sold for $9. And these little silver earrings with the mother of pearl. These were in 5 or 6 people's carts at one time, so anyway, those sold for what, 22. Good morning. It is Thursday morning, and I have nothing to report. Things here have been a little tense because of the looting and curfew and whatnot, but we're all safe here. There's, it's several miles away for the most part, but it makes me very unhappy to see people in our own town behaving badly on both sides. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to show you what I listed yesterday. Okay, so I've listed another one of my snuff bottles on eBay at auction, starting at $75. This one is Jade. It's in really good condition, except it doesn't have a spoon. Listed this cute little daisy brooch. It's in really nice condition. It's like mint condition. I think it's probably about from the 1960s, and it's got kind of neat glittery surface. That I listed for $19. Listed this pewter wolf's head pendant. It's kind of a Viking look, I guess. Norse or Viking. It could be a fox, but I think it's a wolf. That's also $19. I listed this lot of gold tone brooches. This one is a little canateel looking type of brooch, probably mid-century, with a carved bone rose. This is a little dove pin, probably mid-century, and this is a little abstract leafy looking brooch. This one's marked Taiwan, so that probably dates it to about the 1970s. I listed all those together for $19. And then last we have the little enamel pendant locket. It's a little egg-shaped locket. It's not Joan Rivers. I did check that. It's not marked at all. I did get some information on a maker of these, and he or she charges big bucks for them. I am not charging big bucks for mine because it's used, but it is in good condition. It has a ladybug in there. I can't open it with one hand. There's a ladybug inside. You'll just have to trust me. But I did charge $35. Or I priced it at $35. So here are some items that I got listed today. This is an engraved and gold-filled bangle bracelet. It is made by Carl Art. I was thinking that this was going to be Victorian or Edwardian, but Carl Art's only been around since 1937, so probably is 1930s, 40s, maybe 50s, but I'm thinking more 1930s, just the way it's constructed and everything. It's really beautiful. That I listed for $58. This brass spider. I'm thinking this is probably about 1930s. This does have a C-clasp. It might be like check-made. Anyway, I listed him for, I think, $28. And then this is a Victorian child's bracelet with a C monogram. It's adjustable. I can actually fit this on my hand. I have small hands, but a small woman can wear it. And actually, this has already sold. And that was, shoot, I had it in my head, $35. And then this is a lot of Edwardian bar pens. They're, fairly basic ones, but really cute. I like this one especially, if you can see. Oh, the light's too low in here. There we go. Has that little rhinestone in it. But anyway, I listed these for $24 for all 5 of those. That's so cheap. And they sold immediately. So, yeah, but, you know, that's okay. I like to sometimes throw something out there that's at a really low price. Just generate some sales, maybe bring in a new customer. So, yeah. Anyway. And those are the only 2 sales I've had today, so that's when I'm getting ready to wrap up and ship. Hi there, it is Friday afternoon. Things are calm here. We haven't had a curfew since a couple days ago, so I'm hoping that means that things are looking up. And I'm going to show you a few things that I listed yesterday and today. Also, that already sold is this, it's called a Sweetheart Locket Bracelet. It is intended, I believe, for a child. It's very tiny. I was able to get it onto my wrist, and it looked okay, but it felt very uncomfortably tight. So, since my wrists are really small, I think this is really meant for a child. So sweet, though. A little engraved heart-shaped locket. And then this is made by Leabo. And Leabo, that mark has been around since like the 1920s, I think. But I think this is probably about 1940s. I think it's a World War II era piece. Anyway, that sold for $42. And then this pretty little flower brooch is from Wilcox Sterling. Dates almost certainly from the 1940s, just judging from the design. This is a very iconic 1940s design, the little bouquet with a ribbon around it and little curly leaves. It is vermeil, gold over silver. And I went ahead and paired that with these little screwback earrings, which are gold-filled. They're not, no maker mark, but they are gold-filled, and they're a good match. They're not exactly the same, but the colors are about right. And they're both kind of floral and curly. And I listed all of those together for $28. This is a scarab Art Deco style brooch made by Simmons. Simmons has been around for a very long time. I think this is probably 1930s, just judging from the little Art Deco touches and the fact that, you know, Egyptian revival was very popular in the 20s and 30s. And the scarabs are gemstones. There's tiger's eye, and I think this is Amazonite, blue chalcedony, carnelian, rhodonite, I think. I love figuring out what the gemstones are, but it's a very pretty little gold-filled brooch. And that I listed for $28. And then lastly, we have the Victorian very long ladies watch chain with the little slide engraved with faux seed pearls and faux turquoise. And I'm not 100% sure exactly how these were worn. I think that they were meant as a watch chain. Definitely have the little watch clip on here. But ladies wore them also as necklaces. They decorated their hair with them. I've seen them described as muff chains and chatelaine chains and whatever. But anyway, this is not marked. Well, it is marked by the maker, F&C, which I could find very little about, other than there were a few other pieces that were definitely Victorian. But I think it's probably gold-filled. It looks right to be gold-filled, but it's not marked as such. Anyway, I listed that for $82. Some of these watch chains are very expensive, so I'm hopeful. So here's what I am packaging up to ship tomorrow. This is a really neat, very finely woven beaded basket. It is from Indonesia. I sold that for $52. I paid quite a bit for it. I think I paid $20 for it. I was convinced it was Native American, but it is not. It's Indonesian, but still, that's okay. Then we have this turquoise ring, kind of a modernist setting. That's sold for $42. We have this Soviet, it's like a little costume jewelry military badge. I had a whole bunch of these. This is the last one. I've had them for, I don't know, 3 years probably. I had a big lot of them. So yeah, that sold for $12 on eBay, and that's it for those. And then I already told you about the 2 bracelets. So we are back at San Pedro for our Sunday picnic, but we're going kind of a different direction this time. We're going down Harbor Boulevard.
Show them the battleship.
Oh, yes, there's the battleship Iowa. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we're going past it. So this is the breakwater off of San Pedro near Cabrillo Beach. We had our picnic near here. Actually, we sat in the parking lot for our picnic so we could just see a little bit of ocean. Then we went for our walk. There, it's Sunday evening, and I'm going to show you what I listed yesterday and today, and what I am shipping off tomorrow. So today, completely by accident, it was oval brooch day. I did all oval brooches. Just happened to be how I listed them in inventory. This is a Victorian agate and brass brooch. Okay. There we go. Sorry, sometimes it just does not want to focus. Listed that for $55. This is just a really special little brooch. It's a little tiny hand-painted flowers. I think that they're, even though they're white, I think they're meant to be forget-me-nots. This is like a memorial brooch. It's a Victorian style, but it's later than Victorian. The hardware looks a little more, maybe 1920-ish. The frame of the brooch looks rather Edwardian, so it's a bit of a confusing piece, and I couldn't really find, I only found one other one like it, and it was in 800 silver. This one is silver plated, but it looked a lot the same, and the hardware on the back looked exactly the same, and they didn't know what age it was either. But anyway, I just thought that was so precious, and I listed that for $48. This is a Victorian, Edwardian, sterling silver and rhinestone little oval brooch. It's got one of those, the very, very early safety catches on it. Those usually date from, no later than, say, 1920 maybe. Maybe a little later than that, but I think this is probably around 1920. Kind of has like a very early simplistic Art Deco look to it, and it does have some black enamel on it, which is kind of an Art Deco sort of thing. Anyway, that is $32, and then lastly we have this opal gold-filled filigree brooch. It is signed, but the only part of the name of the maker I can read is ARD. I don't have any idea who that is, but it is marked gold-filled. Listed that for $27, I think. Okay, so I have 5 items that I'm packaging up tonight. The first one is, this is hand-woven African genuine kente cloth from West Africa, specifically probably from Ghana, and it's an absolutely beautiful piece. The only problem being it has a rather large and obvious stain, like ink or something on it, so that really hurt the value. But I did get $55 for it. This came from my sister-in-law, Amelia. So we have an odd group of stuff tonight. We have this tiny little Native American pot with some fishes on it. Isn't that the cutest little thing? It's so tiny. And that sold for $26. And then we have a giant scarab made out of carved bone. I think it's a napkin ring. That's what I said it was. And that sold for $39. We have this sweet little tiny beaded bag. Probably dates from about the 1920s. And that sold for $24 plus shipping. That must be something I've had around for a while because it was not free shipping. I don't even remember where I got that. I probably got it for free. And then the last item is this ring, which is, the stones are all costume jewelry and they're set in brass, but the band is sterling silver. It's kind of an odd construction. The only mark on it is 925, which it has twice. I don't know, I think it's a pretty old ring. That sold for $29, I think. Yes, $29. And that will do it for another weekly vlog. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you are interested in anything you've seen that I've listed for sale, just drop me a line. I have all my contact information in the description below, and if I haven't listed it in my shop yet, I can do that for you. Or we can even work directly from here and PayPal if you want. Whichever's easier for you. Thanks a lot, and like this video if you did like it, and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.